Hey there and welcome back to Modern Thirst. It has been a little while since we've had a video for you, but we're going to fix that here for you today. This is actually not the first time I've tasted this whiskey, so I already know my opinions about it, but I'm going to taste it for you again just to reconfirm them and talk to you a little bit about it. The first time I recorded this, I messed up the audio. It didn't come through at all, so I have to redo it. It's called O.H. Ingram. Now, O.H. Ingram is located in Ballard County, Kentucky. Ballard County is the one of the western counties of Kentucky where the Ohio River and the Mississippi River meet and kind of form the mighty Mississippi, you might say. People call it the birthplace of the Mississippi. But O.H. Ingram does something a little bit different. They river age the bourbon. It says right on the bottle, river aged. By river aging, what I mean is that they actually have a river boat where they store their barrels. It's the rick house. It's a licensed rick house. I believe it's the only one of its kind. So you might ask, does that matter? The question is, it's a good question. The answer, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it probably does. If you think about Maker's Mark and how they rotate their barrels in the rick houses, they age them. Not only does that move them to different areas and different rick houses so that you get a better cross-section or consistent flavor profile, but you're also agitating the whiskey in the barrel. And it changes what whiskey is in contact with the wood, et cetera, et cetera. I think it probably matters a little bit. And in this case, what we're talking about is a straight whiskey. It's not a bourbon. It's not a rye. It's actually a blend of the two, and I believe they're both Indiana distilled. And this one's at 96 proof. I don't know the blend, so I don't know whether it's a lot of bourbon. I don't know whether it's half and half. I don't know what the blend is, but regardless, a lot of people will call this a bull rye or something along those lines. But it was river aged on the Mississippi River. And I've tasted this a couple times before. I believe it's 3 years old. Everything on this has to be at least 3 years old because, yeah, aged a minimum of 3 years, so. It is a straight whiskey, so we do know it's a minimum of 3, minimum of 2, and it has the age statement on it because it's less than 4. But we're going to go ahead and taste this. Now, one thing to know, a lot of people like wheated bourbons. There is the Pappy craze has changed bourbon palates quite a bit. I tend to like rye bourbons, and I tend to like high rye bourbons. So I like rye whiskeys, not quite as much as bourbons, but when you blend the two together, you kind of get the equivalent of a super high rye bourbon or something that's more closer to a Kentucky rye, as they call it, or a barley rye. So closer to 50-50 in that rye mash bill. Again, I don't know the blend on this one, so I don't know where that stands, but I do know that this comes in tasting a little bit like a bourbon and very high rye, very spicy, which fits my palate pretty well. So I've got it poured into a Glencairn. Right off the bat, there's a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of fruit. There's kind of there's black pepper out the wazoo on this one, and that's the rye content. And there's a kind of a black licorice note. Some really nice kind of red plum and red fruits. And again, that really high spice, peppery note to it, which I really enjoy. Let's taste, because that's the best part, right? Yeah, it's pretty good. It's for 3 years old, it tastes a little bit more mature than that to me. It is only 96 proof, so if there was any ethanol notes to it, any youth, they may have kind of watered that down just a little bit. I don't really think this needs to be any higher proof. It is very full body and full flavored, and it is 96 proof and high rye, so you get a lot of spiciness that might be a little too much, I guess, if it came out at barrel proof with this particular blend. It has a medium, maybe slightly on the short end finish, which is typical of a rye. Rye whiskeys tend to be a little thinner on the palate for me, and they tend to have a shorter finish. But let's go back in and let's get some actual flavors on this. Yeah, the black pepper definitely throughout coats the whole palate. There's that black licorice note as well, which is pretty good in this. And I get that on some of the high rye MGP bourbons as well. I don't get a whole lot of the red fruits, but I do get kind of a citrus note on this as well, kind of a lemon zest on the periphery. Yeah, it's a nice drinking whiskey, and it's definitely a change of pace. If you like spice, but you still want a little bit of that corn note to it, I really recommend giving this a shot. It's very interesting. It's a good story too. I love a good story on my bar. I mean, I have hundreds of whiskeys around me in the basement, and any of them that I can tell a good story on is something that I like to at least give people a shot with, because you get a lot of folks from out of town, people traveling in to see Foregate and taste different things, and it's always nice to be able to say more than, hey, here's a bourbon, hey, here's another bourbon. Sometimes I like a story, and this one's got a good one, aged on a riverboat. Can't think of a whole lot of other ones other than Jefferson's Ocean, really, that you can say anything like that about. And it tastes good. It does back it up. Overall, I think it's a pretty good whiskey, and it's definitely worth checking out. Again, this is O.H. Ingram, and you can find them online. And I really kind of like this. I kind of dig this. I'm going to have another pour of it while I'm enjoying this. I hope you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, please let me know. And if you've tried this, let us know in the comments what you think. But check us out at ModernThirst.com. We really appreciate it. And cheers. Have a great day.